Firstly, let's talk trade deadline. All right. This affects fantasy very much so. Which legitimate Stanley Cup contenders most need to make a move before the deadline? And before you answer the question, I'm also curious as to how you're defining a legitimate Stanley Cup contender. Defender. That's kind of a giveaway for the Tampa Bay Lightning, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's right. Yeah, they are the Stanley Cup defender.
Yeah, why don't we start with you, Matt?
Yeah, I think in terms of what my main criterion is, I think it's got to be a team. To me, it's got to be at the very least a top 10 team in the league, and a team that, this is sort of, intangible, but that it wouldn't surprise anyone to picture this team going all the way, that they have enough pieces in place. So you could say, yeah, I could see it. So with that sort of criterion established, I'm going to mention the New York Rangers because, as much as there's been this talk about Igor Shesterkin being a Hart Trophy candidate, I've been driving that bus all year. The reason why he's a Hart Trophy candidate is that there hasn't been enough defensive help for him. The Rangers are still a work in progress defensively, and they give up too many high quality chances, which is why Shesterkin has been so amazing this year. He has tremendous numbers, but he's also faced a really high degree of difficulty in his workload. And to me, there's a swing piece the Rangers are missing, and it's that middle six center. So if Thomas Hertl, for example, ends up being available, I think the Rangers are a team that should be ponying up whatever they can to get him. They need someone who can play as your second line center, maybe if you want to drop Ryan Strome down, or you could move him around the lineup. So someone like Hertl, for example, can play multiple forward positions. He can play special teams. But to me, the Rangers need that guy who can be a shutdown center, who can also bring a little bit of offense. It's sort of a chain reaction because Philip Chytil just didn't become what he was supposed to. Same with Elias Anderson, who obviously isn't there anymore. But I think several years ago, the Rangers were projecting that those two guys would have been your number 2 and 3 centers, right? Maybe even your number 1 and 2 centers. Instead, Elias Anderson's gone, and Chytil is just not. He hasn't taken that step forward, and there's a bit of a hole up the middle. So to me, it's the Rangers are my pick, and middle six center is what they need, especially second line.
Interesting. So I know Claude Giroux's played a lot of wing, but he is a center, and he kind of fits that. But I wonder if there's ever any reality in this universe where the New York Rangers and Philadelphia Flyers make a trade, right? So he's one. Another one for me would be, and this is pie in the sky, but because it's going to take a couple of factors. First of all, the Dallas Stars are going to have to fall out of the playoff race. And secondly, they're not going to be able to re-sign Joe Pavelski. But if that's the case and he ever went on the market, to me, that would be my number one. If he were on the trade market, he would instantly rocket up to number one in my estimation on the trade boards.
Mm-hmm.